And with regards to that, I mean, you have the different geos, right? It's trying to understand the talent. And as part of that plan, how do you look for, consistency in terms of the pay, right? Consistency in terms of thinking about those bands.
Well, I mean, look, when especially in the comp space, in the comp game, you really got to get to the data, right? Whether it's data coming from recruitment, I think there are a lot of folks here that know about Radford, they know about probably our own data set and option driver or option impact, whatever you determine to use. I think you got to make sure that you're using the right data set, and that data set obviously is heavily influenced on the stage and the industry and the geo. And believe it or not, we still get a lot of customers or prospects coming in saying, hey, we're just using data solely based on our recruiting efforts, or just kind of this data set that somebody provided us, or we're just looking at self-reported data. And they're basing their strategies off of that, right? And I think that's that's a kind of a troublesome methodology, because you really want to be thoughtful about defining that, because that definition leads you into really getting your pay philosophy established, and that's simply your market positioning strategy, and how you're going to set up your cash versus equity bands, right? And those are really the groundworks for scale, right? When you think about, again, if we're pushing this out to geos and having our baseline, how do we get to establishing of those pay bands and equity ends for the varying levels of expertise for our employees?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned data there and just being well informed. I mean, that was something I know we spent quite a bit of time trying to figure out, how do we make sure we've got the right data? And certainly we started out trying to be globally distributed. And of course, the events of the past year has kind of accelerated that adoption. And so really understanding what are you mentioned Radford, right? I think is obviously one people are familiar with. Serendipitously, we got introduced to OpenComp. And it was just really helpful to have it not only as another data set, but as a way to model and help with that planning.